let's talk about SIERA. No, not this SIERA. SIERA stat in baseball to determine a pitcher's performance. Still interested? I'll break it down in easier terms to understand because it's actually one of the most effective stats to look at when determining a pitcher's overall performance and effectiveness on the field. So we talked about FIP a while ago, and although that is a nice stat to also look at a pitcher's overall performance and one of the most accurate ones, SIERA might be even more accurate than that. The thing about FIP is that it's easier to calculate. When you look at the equation for SIERA, you will just want to go ahead and throw the whole thing away. Trust me, there are online calculators that can help with this, so you don't have to worry about doing this on hand yourself. SIERA stands for Skill Interactive Earned Run Average, basically answering the question on what is the holistic skill level of a certain pitcher. More of an accurate model of what makes a pitcher successful or unsuccessful. It calculates the factors only in a pitcher's control, so it eliminates the defense just like FIP does, and it's also park adjusted. The good thing about SIERA that stands out from the rest of the stats doesn't just take into account the balls that are batted in as far as like a single, double, triple, and home run, but it takes into account what types of balls are batted in. So ground balls, fly balls, and that's important because it tells you how pitchers are able to generate run prevention. High walk rates, of course, aren't good in general, but you definitely get points docked off for high walk rates. If you get a few walks here and there, that's fine because that can also result in outs, but too many walks is saying that, okay, this pitcher isn't performing as well. It adds positive points to, of course, strikeouts because that results in outs. Ground balls, because even though a ground ball can generate more contact with the hit, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to make a run with that because defense can also back that up. It also looks into fly ball and pop-up rates as well. The good thing about SIERA is that it really correlates with ERA. So if you're looking at ERA, same thing really goes. The lower the ERA, the better. The lower the SIERA, the better. So every year, the SIERA is adjusted with the league average ERA. So it kind of matches up with each other. This was back in 2011, I think. So every year it changes, but it pretty much is relatively the same ballpark numbers, where of course somewhere in the 2s and lower is really good. Numbers that are higher than a 4 point anything are not looked at as highly. And here's the formula for it. You can find all this on Fangraphs. Don't get scared with this chart. All you have to do is scroll all the way to the right and you see pitchers' SIERA scores from each year. So it started, I think, in 2011, and then they're still going from there. So for all the names here, there's the FIP scores, ERA, XFIP, all that, and you go all the way to the right and you see their SIERA scores right there. You might be wondering, how come I can't just look at ERA and determine a pitcher's performance and skill level? ERA is the, of course, basic foundation, I think, in order to like start off looking at a pitcher's skill, but then you can also be an oversight on how pitchers are doing as a whole because it doesn't really take into account types of balls that are being batted, the types of outs that are being made, and really answering the questions on how and why, like SIERA does. So a pitcher can actually be pitching really well even though they're not getting the results they're looking for, and the SIERA stat will tell you that. It's kind of a predictive look on what their ERA should be or could be to keep up what they're doing. It's nice to use it as like a final stat in determining an overall pitcher's performance rather than something to look at first or only. Basically, you can look at a pitcher in real life